Have you ever wondered how unfair Warhammer World is? We've got shots with Industrial Revolution, another shots with another Industrial Revolution, a pretty handsome dude with shiny armor. Meanwhile his subjects are next to him, on the front row, with nothing but a shed and a pitchfork. But fear no more, because if Throt's mutations will save everyone by destroying inequality. Horrible mutations / laboratory, the result of which is this. Everyone will get something from Uncle Throt. Please don't forget about like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me and helps grow the channel. Thanks. As you can see, that's our capital. Magnificent gem of a civilization. And that fine-tuned gentleman is our leader. I don't know about you, but he immediately earns my trust. Our first step in destroying the world, I mean destroying inequality, is to show our ideas to Kislevites. With force, they may look like they are resisting, but in reality they are just getting used to the changes we are bringing with our arguments. Adopting our ideas takes time. We dropped Armor of Destiny, the best item we could get at the moment. Unfortunately, we don't have much support for our right cause right now. We can recruit only worthless Skaven slaves, but we'll manage to make use of them somehow. We want additional movement range for the Throt, so he can spread his ideas faster. We should upgrade Mutant Rat Ogre, so he can cast spell, which throws lightnings on our units and occasionally enemies. It turned out that Kislev settlement didn't open its gates to us in a gesture of joy, so our warriors, loaded with perfectly safe substances, went into battle to show them why that was a big mistake. The battle didn't last long, but to be honest, why would it? Since we had a bass-sized rat in our team, and with the generic Kislev faction taken, we could turn our eyes into the other parts of the world. And with the money that our Kislevites friends donated to us, we could have built this perfect, totally fine, unsuspecting building, which gives plus 10 growth juice for our rats. And then when I was fighting for over 300 factions to skip their turn, which took forever I think, the chief homeless guy from Kislev attacked us. We need a new army, and I think this guy fits perfectly for the second lord, but he has disciplined traits, so he might be a traitor. I have a good news and a bad news. The good news is we managed to ambush that guy. The bad news is the ambush doesn't work. But we'll try anyway, by attacking their weak flanks, which weren't that weak to be honest, or maybe our rats are worthless, that would be also the case. Despite our differences in views and opinions, we managed to convince some Kislevites to join to us, which I guess their previous faction didn't like, which ultimately worked in our favor, as we managed to convince more Kislevites to join our forces. I am a bit afraid that Katarine might attack us. She hates Constantine, which we fight against, but it doesn't matter because she hates us more. We've got uprisings at the back. Turns out not all of our residents of our great empire agree with our ideas. I wonder why. I bet you are probably wondering what kind of battle is this, and how it even started. That's actually an Erangard garrison. I mean, I wanted to say it was Erangard garrison. The first upgrade to our laboratory is going to be sample collectors, so our warriors can be even more juiced up. And there it goes, the last army the great homeless guy has. His faction is no more. Well, it had to happen at some point. Gates of Hellpit. That's a building we don't need actually, but I want to build it anyway. Katarine attacked Erangard. Maybe we will need to cool down her fighting spirit. I hope you get that joke. For now, however, she's only cooling down her soldiers. Irreversibly. We don't count our own casualties, those are only clan rats. Plus it is way better that they're using all of their magic on those worthless rats, and also on their own units. Somehow those clan rats survived that blizzard. Anyway, the priority is to destroy that battering ram, which Katarine herself is helping with by casting those spells. We want to keep them under our walls, because those turrets, held by a single lonely lord, deal them massive damage. Unfortunately, Kislevites destroyed the left gate. They are entering the city like a plague, and here on the right side Katarine managed to destroy the gate as well. But we've got a few surprises for them, for example our catapults. I don't think those shields will help them, but everyone has what they like. Katarine decided that it is a perfect moment to charge alone at our rats. Because of that she's surrounded and being shot at because we have long range units. And long story short, it didn't end up well for her. That's like the worst place they could be, because I cannot cast spell. Look. That is that lightning works. Those grenades they have hurt a bit. Yes, I have lost my voice partially when I saw the damage they have done to us, and it looks like our line is collapsing, but it's no surprise, we were ready for that. If you think that right now we are trying to clog them in that choke point, using our ability and spells, by spawning even more rats, because I am panicking, you are correct, but it doesn't mean it's bad. At least on the right flank we are safe, somehow, and I think it will hold, with a little magic help, and also the bar just moved. 20 seconds ago it looked way different. I think it's foreshadowing our victory, as our rats are destroying the last Kislevites here, who are running away from us, but I think most of them will stay here. We managed to win that battle. It took only a couple of Skavens. half of our forces to be exact. They actually decided that one beating is not enough, and apart from some unfortunate incidents in this battle, we managed to overrun them, mostly with our quantity. Look at those poor Kislevites in the Sea of Rats, but they had a choice. They could not attack us, for example. So anyway, we start a campaign to finish off Kislev. The first target is Kislev. They have a pretty strong and widely spread army, with melee and long range units. Precision and caution is recommended here, so naturally I rushed at them with our rat ogres, but they are capable warriors of freedom and great experts in fixing inequality. I couldn't do it any other way. Our warriors couldn't really keep the line, I wonder why. Maybe because they are craven skaven. Reinforcements have just arrived, so maybe, just maybe, we will win that. It may look like complete chaos, but it is controlled chaos. And also look at that epic fight. Who will hit who first? Looks like those poor Skaven under that berg got hit first. We are winning this one, look at the bar. We won. It wasn't even close. The second target was their somewhat lost army, which we managed to ambush. And as you can see, that battle is pretty much one-sided. It's hardly battle at all, more like complete disaster for the Kislevites. A disaster indeed, battle lasted only 2 minutes. And the third target is the army I don't even remember, but since they picked very bad spot for the reinforcements to arrive, I had to use that chance to completely annihilate them. And there it is, the last Kislev settlement. The Ice Coat faction is no more. In the meantime, we could also complete a mission for a legendary hero called Gorich. Dude got stuck in the middle of an chaos army, like a complete pancake. But there are no impossible things for our terrible monsters. We managed to save another one. Just look at this freaky freak of nature. He will be leading our charges against the enemies for the rest of the game. After taking Prague, we basically wiped out Kislevites from Kislev. But does that mean we will stop? Of course not. That's only the beginning. Because the next step is the Empire itself, but we are far too weak to attack them directly, we are Skaven. That's why we ambushed Elspeth, because destroyed Elspeth is happy Elspeth. That was quick. The rest of her army suffered the same fate. The losers speak for themselves. There it goes, another ambushed army. And that one will be tough to fight against. At least the map kinda favors us. Unfortunately they are shooting at us, but that's fine. We have a lot of rats, so we can tank some damage. And use our catapults, magic and menace from below to scratch their units. And by the way, I see we lost some of the Skavens, but that was the sacrifice I was willing to make. I think it is the perfect moment to catch some of their horses. I'm sure they won't see that coming. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Car France, doing absolutely nothing besides being beaten by our clan rats. We actually catched a lot more of the units than I expected, and there it goes, the Car France, the great human leader of the greatest empire of men, beaten by some bodybuilder rat ogre from the local store, and the rest of his army completely broke down seeing this. I cannot blame them. And now, since we destroyed all of their major forces, we can enact a campaign called Take as much settlements as possible. That settlement is first. Even though we are surrounded and getting shot in the back, we are winning this one. And we can turn this disgusting moldy hole into a shining jewel of civilization, just as the other empire settlements and cities. And also I want to give up one of the settlements we have conquered, to make the Vlad von Karstein at war with the empire. Erkion himself wants the trade agreement with us. That's interesting. Look at that defense line they made. That's impressive. I'm sure they would need those armies at the vampire front though. Plus they are at war with Norska, so it doesn't look that good for them. Just look at that great mechanic over here. Two of my most important allies went to war with each other, and now I have to pick a side. So the game forces me to betray one of them. I don't want to get involved in a pointless war, so I am not picking either side, and now they both hate me. Anyway, we destroyed their two most powerful armies, so we could resume our campaign of taking over cities. Except that settlement, we have to wait another turn. But other than that, it went really smooth. We even made it to some village called Aldorf. Vampires declared on me, which are in Inns, so kinda far away, and also Wood Elves, which have Nemesis Crown by the way, with a really trash army. And here we are, we destroyed the core of inequality, Kislev, took some imperial cities, cores of oppression on top of that, even wiped out those awful Wood Elves, but there is still one nation left. A place where serfdom is still going strong. Bastion of inequality, Bretonia. That's why we have to hit right at the heart of this corruption center, their capital. Don't be fooled by those beautiful views of this city, as it is rotted by evil. Evil that our mutated rats, rat ogres, and other abominations of nature will soon destroy. Because remember, we are the good ones here. We are just fixing the problems Warhammer World has. Nothing less, nothing more. Yet for some reason they want to stop us, which they don't really manage. They even send their elite cavalry to help. But I guess they are useless like the other units they have. Like, the bar doesn't lie. You know, I actually wanted to go way deeper in the city, but it looks like we don't have to. We are destroying them in the courtyard. Just look at them. No smartphones, just people enjoying the moment. I wonder what those street dudes are going to do. Nothing. That's what I thought. And here we have it. A new empire, where everyone will be happy and truly free. Remember to like and subscribe, or this guy will empty your fridge.